versus this guy, which is Eastern Wizards Snovski in teal colors in the top location.
And in the bottom right location, or did you already do that? I'm not sure, I forgot.
No, I didn't.
Okay, sorry, I was updating Wikipedia, I was confused. Bottom left corner of the map, it is our yellow Zerg player, HyDrA, who's been showing us some great games today. I hope their technical issues have been fixed by now, at the time that they were playing this game, of course. And what was his team again? The Russian...
Russian Universe of Warhammer.
Aha.
The RUW.
That kind of sounds like a team that would play Warhammer.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Right.
Alright, so this time we have a scouting drone being sent out on the map at 11 supply. And actually at 10 supply, excuse me. Snovski is going for a gateway opening this time around, not going to risk a forge on this map. I mean, it is doable, but gateway openers are currently just much better on two-player maps. And it looks like we're going to have a fairly standard pool timing here on 14.
I think it's funny you say that gateway openings are currently much better on two-player maps. I like that, because in StarCraft nothing is the best absolutely, in absolute terms, ever. It always depends on what your opponents usually do, and what's usually the nice thing to do. So yeah, currently gateway openings are good on two-player maps, so that's the good thing about StarCraft, that it changes. Whatever is good changes, so you need to keep up with the meta game.
That is absolutely true, and Snovski goes actually for a Nexus first. Blocks the natural expansion of the Zerg, but HyDrA already has taken another base in the top. Scouts the pool. That pool was built in a little bit of an awkward spot, probably for spotting any cannons or proxies down there. So that's nice for HyDrA. And he builds a lot of lings. This is something that we've seen him do in the past. Look at that. The pylon even was finished. So maybe that's why the large amount of lings. And HyDrA comes in, tries to build the natural. No, will not happen. Drone will try to nibble away at that pylon until it disintegrates and dissolves.
But he's not sending his Zerglings to the pylon. He wants to do some damage with these Zerglings.
He's going to try and deny the natural. There will only be one, maybe two Zealots. It's going to take some time, and lings are faster than Zealots, so they can run rings around the Rosie, or rings around the Nexus in this case. And just every time they get far enough from the Zealot, they get a couple of jabs at the Nexus, never allowing that Zealot to catch up. And you know, Snovski might just lose that expansion. No, he does not want to. He's pulling all the probes from the main mineral line.
Alright, so this is good for HyDrA, however you look at it.
Yeah, it is, but now the lings can get inside. Outsmarted, man. Outsmarted.
Nice. Yeah, this is bad news for Snovski. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna lose a lot of units here, but it's gonna take a lot of time to clean all of this up. There's go 1, 2, 3,
no, good
4,
surround.
5. Actually, get 5 probe kills and still has 6 Zerglings alive. So that is definitely bad news for Snovski.
Yeah, that definitely is. Considering that HyDrA has a third base on the way as well, the more time he can buy with this, the harder he can drone. But as soon as the threat of those lings is taken care of, which will happen very shortly here, he has to start producing units as well, because with 3 Zealots already out, and a Sentry, and a Mothership Core, Snovski can actually go, and he may be successful in his counterattack. And if his opponent is not careful, then Snovski might be able to just kill this natural here of HyDrA, because the ramp there is for 1 force field only. So if he brings, he didn't bring the Sentry, however. So so that's one good thing that plays into HyDrA's cards right now.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so on the Mothership Core will have enough energy for either a Time Warp or a recall in the near future. But I don't think 3 Zealots will merit a recall.
They might. They might, but I just kind of think that they will be left behind if things come to be very bad here for the Protoss, and he will just retreat with the Mothership Core, and no, he's just going to initiate an all-out retreat back to his home base without actually doing anything, and that's a good thing too, because he forced a lot of lanes being built. Those don't even have speed, so they're going to be utterly useless versus sentry gateway armies.
Yep, and Snovski arrives back at his base just in time before the Lynx do, and they will now be able to block it up and defend, and having forced a lot of Lynx, he'll probably be happy about that.
Yeah, he will be definitely happy. Even happier when he sees that there is no link speed. Considering it's 8-minute mark, he has to know that the gas was pretty late for the Zerg player, since we see no link speed. So he's like, well, this is not a bad position for me. I can actually go into a third base. He puts down the Stargate. He already has the forge almost finishing up, which would indicate that either he wants to use those cannons to secure a third base, or he wants to go for a timing, or maybe even both. And we do see the probe heading towards the third. There is a Ling, so the probe will be delayed, but definitely a third is in the works here for the Protoss player.
Yep, we might be able to... We might get to see another a long macro game with both players trying to max out and get awesome unit compositions. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see some more lasers. Well, that's actually Stargate.
You must be a big Star Wars fan.
Well, I can't say I am. I haven't really watched a lot of Star Wars. Of course, I've watched the movies, but as a child, all I watched was the Dutch cartoons, I guess.
Yeah, me too, actually. I only watched Star Wars when I was in my puberty years, and then later on when I was an adult. Actually, I never. This whole Star Wars mania thing kind of went by me.
So well, I can't remember when the first Star Wars movie came out. Well, not the first Star Wars movie, but Episode 1, like, right? I went to see it in the IMAX theater in Amsterdam, and when I came out, I was super impressed. I think I was about, I don't know, 14? Not sure. But I was completely impressed. I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch all the Star Wars movies. I'm going to be a Star Wars fanatic from now on. But somehow that didn't really stick. Don't know why that was. I'm seeing in the chat that Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out.
Yeah, it is. And guess who's producing it? Disney.
Disney?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
George Lucas, he sold the rights to Star Wars series and trademark. He sold it to Disney Enterprises. Or Disney Entertainment, whatever the hell they're called. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to the episode 7. Never mind the episode 1 to 3 being utterly stupid, but but I'm not looking forward to episode 7. Alright, so we have a big Roachling army on the field right now for the Zerg player. Not really a full wall off at the third of the Protoss. Not really the rocks being down yet. And not really a big army here for the Protoss neither. He's down by 20 supply in terms of army. And nice flanks being set up here by HyDrA as well. He may be able to actually kill that third base. There's really not a whole lot to defend here for the Protoss.
Nope, I think this third base is definitely for...
Oh, he lets it finish! He didn't even cancel that Nexus.
Ballsy.
Yeah, that
Especially with the force fields there, blocking the Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 Void Rays, but that's not going to be enough.
Nope.
Nexus goes down. That's a huge misstep here for Snovski.
Man, that sucks. I know how hard it can be to get a third base against Zergs who are very aggressive like this. And of course, HyDrA now also just finished up his 4th base.
Yeah, so he's definitely getting back into these series. And you know, it's a little bit of a weird play by Snovski all around. I mean, he kind of gambled on the fact that, yeah, the Zerg is building up right now, so if I can use that time to get a third base, I don't have to build any army units neither, because he's not building any. Well, he couldn't have been more further away from the truth. And it looks like HyDrA is thinking about taking a 5th base as well. Wow. He's just going to get into the 5th, if not the 6th gear, and try to speed forward at 250 kilometers per hour on a freeway.
Yep, it's gonna be tough for Snovski to stop him once he gets rolling. For Snovski now scouting out whatever his opponent is doing with a hallucinated Phoenix, but I'm wondering if he's gonna go out far enough to see that HyDrA is even prepared to take a 5th base by taking down the rocks. Oh, there's actually an Oracle coming into the main base, doing damage, but the Queen is shooing it off, barely escapes with his life.
Yeah, but that Oracle has really paid off during during this game. It has 10 kills to his name, so that's fine. Actually, number of harvesters is not that high for neither side, 9 each. But units killed, I mean, go definitely into the favor of Snovski. That doesn't tell the whole story, though. That doesn't tell us how Snovski lost his third base. It doesn't tell us how ineffective his early game aggression was. But now with the Colossus out on the field and the Void Rays, we're getting to the point in time where the composition of the Protoss army is going to be very difficult to deal with for the Zerg player, and it's coming to the point where it becomes where it starts to be really frustrating for the Zerg player as well.
Okay, so this is a bit of a strange angle to engage at. Protoss is now being aware that the Zerg is actually approaching his base. Zerg's actually grouping up the potential fourth base location for Snovski here.
Yeah, he also has a link there, so if he gets burrow, he can start burrowing links all around the map.
Burrowed links, I still don't think they're used enough. I mean, they cost so little, and they're a great scout for any attack paths. And not all Protosses always have observers with their armies.
That is true, especially if you're only on one robo. You pretty much want to get as many observers out as possible in the early stages of the game, and then you only focus on Immortal and Colossus production. You don't want to sacrifice the time, or your robo time, to get another observer out. So yeah, that's definitely a good point. But if you also have a Stargate, you can solve that problem very, very effectively with an Oracle. Oracles are fast, and you can clear all the expansions of burrowed links very, very quickly.
Nice, yeah, that's true. I think it's a great thing for Protoss that they have now a different means of detection from just observers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before Protoss was pretty much forced into going robo every single time. It's not that you had a choice. You had to go robo because you did not have any other mobile detection. But now, it's way better, and you can actually make a choice: do I go Stargate or do I go robo?
Oh, we see actually Guardian Shield already going up as soon as Snovski even approached the creep. And there we go. We might actually see an engagement here. The angle is not that bad for the Protoss. You can section off a bit. Oh, look at those time warps.
Oh, very good time warps there, preventing the retreat more than anything. But has he bitten off more than he can chew? I mean, there's a lot of units already in front of the force field, and it looks like HyDrA is being a little bit indecisive here as well. He sees more Colossi coming into the fight and decides, well, this is definitely not a fight I want to be taking, and we could be looking at HyDrA being knocked out right here. His army is so small right now. He's got more army units in production, but they're not on the field just yet. He's repositioning his spine crawlers, desperate to keep his fourth base alive. I don't know if he'll be able to do that with such a small group of units. Vipers only now coming onto the field, and they still have to gather up the energy for those abducts. This is not looking very good here for HyDrA.
Oh, even though 2-2 just finished for him, this is looking to be. Oh, whoa, yeah. There's not too many force fields left, though. That's a very good thing for HyDrA.
Yeah, but there are 5 Colossi, and HyDra's army is coming in onto the battlefield in small groups and through chokes and ramps, which maximize the damage potential of those Colossi. And now I think Snovski can just... Oh, he's actually dancing the Colossi and every single unit in his army.
Wow.
GG, good luck, as HyDrA taps out of the game and taps out of the DSCL tournament as well.